Okay, we're at Brooklands and we're standing at a special place in front of Concord, and we have a very special car in front of Concord as well, an Mgb Gt V8 which has just arrived, and we're going to speak to the owner of the car, Paul Newman. Hi there, Paul.
Oh, hello.
Hello
There, Tim.
You good?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good journey down?
It was a great journey, yes. I was quite blessed with the decent weather actually today, isn't it? It was a bit parky yesterday, so yeah,
still a
all
bit
good.
chilly this morning, but at least the sun's out today, isn't it? So that's quite good. We're here today to have a look at your car, so if you'd like to step outside, we'll have a quick look at it. Okay, so it's a really beautiful looking MGB GT, and it's a V8 engine underneath the bonnet there.
Yep.
So shall we have a walk around and just have a quick look at the car, and you can tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, well, they're quite rare, obviously. Only about 2,500 ever made. And I just sort of love it. I'm a bit of an MG man anyway. I had a small MGB actually back in the 80s, and I always sort of fancied the V8. Anyway, in 1991 I bought myself a V8, same as this actually, but I had to get rid of it because got married, daughter came along, sold the V8, bought a kitchen. That's the things that you do. And as time progresses on, as we all sort of get to the end of our working careers and stuff like that, I thought, no, I fancy another MG, and it's got to be a V8. So I sold my Lotus Elise and my old Motor Guzzi Le Mans, put all the money in a big pot, and this is what you get.
And this is what you get at the end.
And it's a gorgeous car. It's a gorgeous car. It's silky smooth. That Rover engine.
What colour do we call this?
This is called Damask Red.
It is Damask Red.
Yes. It had a renovation, well, full rebuild actually, about 2015, before my ownership.
Right.
And yeah, they spent an awful lot of money on it, and it's an absolute minter. It really, really is.
Yeah.
I've done a few bits and pieces on it.
I was going to say, have you done something yourself to it since you've got it? I mean,
nothing really.
Bearing in mind it had a full rebuild just before you bought it, really.
Like most things, these are a bit of a labour of love, aren't they? So you've got to you've got to throw a bit of time at them, I think, to keep them running really nice as they are. Yeah. And that's what I like. It's a bit of a hobby. It's a nice hobby to have. Yeah, so it's great. It's an absolute great. No problem. Doesn't miss a beat.
Let's have a look round then, shall we? Shall we have a look?
Yeah.
Shall we start under the bonnet, which is
absolutely
the meat of the thing is under here, isn't it, really?
I'll just pop the lid. There we go.
Now, this is the beating heart of the beast.
There we go.
Yeah,
there it is.
Look at that.
It's the original engine, as I say, had quite a lot of work done on it. 2015, I think it was, something like that. And it's had some sympathetic upgrades to cope with modern traffic. Yeah. We've got electronic distributor, obviously no points anymore, but decent cooling fans and everything else, because he's always used to suffer a tad with heating problems.
Yes.
But apart from that, this is like the standard engine, cast manifold steel, air cleaners, etc., all standard. And it's lovely, and that's the way I like it.
And this is the famous Rover 3.5 litre.
Rover 3.5, yeah.
Yeah.
On a low state of tune.
Many different cars.
Yeah. It's a low state of tune apparently. Right. Because it runs on 3-star back in the day, so it still runs on low quality fuel, opposed to 100% octane or something like that. So, yeah.
What's the sort of performance you get from this?
I would say it's deceptively quick is my words for this. Back in the day, they were a very, very quick car. I think they were. They were quite an expensive car as well. Performance-wise, I've had a few cars in my time, and I think this is good. That's a good performance. I had a Subaru Impreza, I've had a Lotus Elise, and I think the gear change slows it down a little bit between the gear changes. That's the only thing that slows it down. But pots of torque, not a lot of horsepower. Quite a lot of torque though, and that keeps up with modern day traffic.
I was going to say, it's quite happy and cruising with on the motorway wherever.
The only problem I would say, not that there is a problem, with most 60s design cars, they have a little bit of wind noise and stuff like that on them, but that is to be expected. You'll never get it any different. But oh no, it's like a jewel. That is like a jewel. That's what I like to describe that as. And yeah, what a lovely.
Certainly takes up a lot of space if you see the ordinary MGB GT with the 4-cylinder. Which looks quite tiny in the bay, really. In comparison,
but it's well fitted in, isn't it? They've done their, it's a good fit, don't you think? I think it is.
And that's without any modification on the bonnet, like the MGC has a bulge on the bonnet.
Or the Costello, which he was the main man to set it all off, wasn't it? Ken Costello.
But this all fits in without any changes to it, which is amazing, really.
Yeah. Part of cheapness, I think, possibly with
British
Leyland.
Who knows? Great piece of engineering,
Absolutely.
Go in there, I think.
Absolutely. No,
brilliant.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It's a pleasure to go out in.
Fantastic. Shall we have a look round at the rest of it? Shall we have a look inside?
Yeah, here we go.
If we have a look in the interior.
It's just basically a bog standard.
There we are.
MGB
So no
GT.
real changes in here?
No, there's nothing really at all. I think the only thing you'll ever find difference is you've got a different speedo, 140 mile an hour speedo, and I think the oil pressure gauges are slightly different to the normal MGB.
All right.
And that's it, really. That's it. And surprisingly, it's very economical. You would not believe that. I reckon this must do. It does 30 to the gallon, I would have thought.
Really? It's 30?
Yep, absolutely.
That's amazing.
So, because it's quite a light car, isn't it? It's only probably a ton, 1,000 kilos or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's all power to weight. And I think,
that's great. And you've got a full-length sunroof on there. Is that factory fitted?
No, this is
That's
not
aftermarket?
This is an aftermarket one. But what a wonderful thing to have as well. My old my old V8 that I had just looked normal Tim top.
Right.
But this is wonderful because it's like being in a roadster, isn't it?
It's the best
you
of
can
both
put it
worlds,
away. Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely.
You can run this the whole way back and you get the sunshine and the wind and the noise.
But
Okay, and the boot is standard. Should we have a quick look in there?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've got some bits and pieces, some leaflets in there, and there's a small kid, I think it is, in the back, small child in the back.
Is there one in there?
And I wouldn't like to sit in the back of there. Although I did back in the day. We used to take friends to the pubs, etc., like you did back in the 80s.
That's right.
And you get your mate in the back there.
Yeah, I had an MGB GT in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Same
Mine was
thing.
a rubber bumper one.
Mine was chrome.
In Tundra, it was, which was like a greeny colour. I never,
It's never the same design inside.
Yeah,
though,
absolutely, exactly the same.
It just hasn't changed at all.
Yep, I've lowered it a little bit. I've got some. I've lowered the actual ride height's about an inch lower than it was because I think it's a little bit wallowy. These types of cars are a little bit wallowy. You've got all this lovely, nice, silky smooth performance, but at the end of the day, you've got these lever arms and cart springs and stuff like that, and I find that on like a motorway, you know, it does wallow a little bit if you're not careful. But if you're aware of that, it's.
But a great looking vehicle. It's a
beautiful,
credit to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
But we are in front of Concorde. Now, why are we in
this
front
is
of
why
Concorde,
this is where the story starts. The guy that bought this brand new in June 1974 was assistant chief test pilot of Concorde by the name of Peter Baker. And Peter Baker obviously bought this and he drove this and he drove that.
Probably at the same time.
At the same time.
This is
yes,
1974.
It is. Yes.
And this is 1974.
He did the tour around the Middle East, I think it was, in July 74, something like that. And this would have been waiting down in the car park at Filton or whatever it was where he took off from, waiting for him to take him home.
So we're getting from that cockpit up there
into there,
into that cockpit in there,
and
slight power differential probably.
But again, I think it was deemed quite a quick car in its day, and a very expensive car as well. I think you were up against Nissan 240s, really like Scimitar, Triumph Stags and stuff like that. Mercedes as well, possibly, I don't know, but I think it was an upmarket sort of car. I think that's what it was.
it probably would have been.
And it was quite.
Peter was obviously quite a well-known test pilot,
and he was quite a well-paid chap as well.
First pilot to fly this beautiful machine behind us here. This is the exact one, and he was also the last pilot. To fly this as well,
okay,
before it was decommissioned and taken to filter. So Peter was the first and last pilot. But only the first on here.
He certainly was.
You're the last at the moment. Unless you move it on again.
No, I won't be sitting this in a hurry. I like to keep my stuff and use them. And it's a used car. As I say, I've done 4,000 miles in the last 12 months on it. And I like to use them. It's not a show queen, although it looks very, very nice. Goes back to what I was saying to you earlier. You have to look after it and put a little bit of love into it, and this is what you get.
Well, you've clearly done that. I mean, it's beautifully polished. It's beautifully kept.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there we are.
So you've got
Peter
two-
Baker's first car.
Yeah,
Peter Baker's.
yeah. Two fantastic
Aircraft.
pieces of British engineering, don't you
Indeed.
think?
In one, absolutely, in one place, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
It really
all
is.
in one place. Yep.
Great.
Wonderful.